Brings us to 174, and this is a really good one, guys. A top 20 match between Justin McCoy and Luca Augustine.
Yeah, this was one I had circled for tonight. Like I was saying, Virginia veteran and Justin McCoy, both PA natives, but Luca Augustine, very tough in his own right. Really excited to see this kind of clash of styles. Won't be surprised if you saw this a couple more times this season.
Nino, we talked about the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse earlier tonight. As much as I'm sure they love seeing the Panther wrestlers win, they probably also love seeing a really good college wrestling match, which is what we expect here at 74.
Oh, they love it. This area it's a real hotbed for wrestling.
Yeah.
Especially McCoy, grew up, went to high school Chestnut Ridge, so not too far here from the Pittsburgh area. Obviously Augustine from Waynesburg, so AA, AAA as far as classifications here in Pennsylvania, so they didn't see much of each other, if at all. But these two guys, obviously two of the best here in the ACC.
Yeah, this 74-pound weight in the ACC has been really interesting. We were talking about 33 being a good weight class, but 74 got a lot of tough guys, a lot of guys kind of going back and forth. Obviously, national champ Mekhi Lewis in the weight. McCoy having a real close match with him, as you can see there. A lot of ranked guys.
5 of the 6 in the top 30.
And that's what Keith Gavin talked to us about. He said it's a good opportunity for Luca tonight. Right now, he's around the 5 seed in the ACC tournament, but he's number 18 in the country, and that's how you know it's a good weight.
Yeah, big ACC seeding implications here for Augustine. Great reshot there from Augustine, right on the edge.
Good awareness, too. He almost stepped out.
Yeah.
But he was able to get that foot back in.
As hard as it is, Augustine's going to want to try to pull him all the way back to the center. Trying to snag that other foot. But McCoy doing a real good job with that whizzer.
So still working here on the edge. Augustine does pull him back a little bit closer to center now. And McCoy able to get free.
Got blood time here now for McCoy. There's a good dive down at the legs, though, of Augustine.
Yeah, kind of a last resort last ditch effort for McCoy there, and kind of worked out for him at the cost of his eyebrow.
Well, this is nothing new for Justin McCoy. Steve Garland talked to us about the fact that amidst all the injuries this year, McCoy has dealt with some as well, but the difference is this is a guy in his last year. And Greg, he talked to us about how some wrestlers, they might miss time due to injury if they're banged up a little bit. McCoy's not wasting any time in his final season. He's going to be out there for every duel.
And he's been smart, too, about, how he's went about his training and making sure that he stays healthy and able to stay on the mat. And that's all part of being a guy who is in his, graduate redshirt senior season, because he knows what it's going to be taken and not to push himself into certain areas in practice.
So a really exciting first couple minutes of this match between McCoy and Augustine, and expected to be one of the best ones we see tonight, with big implications, as you noted, Nino, in terms of the ACC championship and how important that will be for both of these guys. And it's coming up just a couple weeks away down in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and certainly one of the best days of the year when it comes to college wrestling, and getting to see guys finish that year-long journey at ACC championships. Of course, NCAAs after that as well. But Nino, what do you remember about your time competing at the ACC championships?
It's one of the best times of the year, like you were saying, and wrestling familiar opponents, tough guys, trying to get that ACC title under your belt. It's so exciting, and to kind of work with your team in that postseason is something I always remember for sure. feel like we're going to run out of tape here. As the athletic training staff. Everyone's taped up pretty good.
Holden Heller in the last match. McCoy. That's a good point.
As you said, end of February, beginning of March wrestling.
Yep,
right?
taped up.
Good attacking here from Augustine.
Augustine, a guy for Pitt, has had some good wins throughout his career. Just a redshirt sophomore, but this would be certainly another milestone victory to add to his resume if he can get it. A guy that Keith Gavin and the Panther coaching staff is very excited about, and you can certainly see the potential with him.
Yeah, Augustine's a guy that the Pitt staff loves. You know, you don't have to worry about him in the room academically. He's an overall really great kid, and I know Pitt's really lucky to have him.
I think the same can be said on the other side for Virginia and McCoy. Grateful for what he's done coming down from Pennsylvania to Virginia, and it's like we're going to get potentially dangerous, and it's kind of warning about smacks to the face.
Yeah, it's like you were saying, a lot of these guys, well, nice little misdirection from McCoy. It's nice to have guys like Augustine and McCoy on your teams because you know their effort is going to be consistent every time out. And it's nice not to have to worry about whether you're Virginia staff or Pitt staff, not worry about your guy not giving his full effort there. So
McCoy is coming off an ACC title himself. Last year he defeated Connor Brady of Virginia Tech in the final. He was down at the 165 class and now up to 174. Actually started his long career at Virginia with 3 seasons at 157.
Wow. Oh, nice trip there from Augustine.
He gets the 3.
Yeah, up a couple weight classes, but McCoy looks good up at a weight. Sometimes all those years of maybe cutting down, finally able to eat a little more, you kind of really fill out your body. But Augustine also looking very strong.
Riding time a non-factor here as we get towards the end of the second period.
Augustine will have choice for the third. It was a great trip from Augustine to get that takedown, and
yeah, almost like an inside trip. Really kind of an interesting takedown there. Oh, it was an inside trip to a single leg. That was a really beautiful takedown from Augustine.
So Augustine starts on bottom here. Greg, to begin the third, what's he got to do to come away with what would be a huge win over McCoy?
I think just getting this quick escape certainly helps. Obviously, ride time's not a big factor. He can be rode for a little bit, still have some time, but just getting out there and still. At the end of the day, you got to continue to wrestle, I think is the biggest thing. I mean, you don't want to get too defensive. McCoy's going to come after you in this third period.
Oh.
Yeah, if I'm McCoy here, unless I'm super, super confident on top, I'm maybe looking to just take this one to neutral. Because even if you do get that riding time, might be hard to ride Augustine for the full 2 minutes. He's going to get that escape. You're going to need a takedown anyway, so might as well give yourself some time, but he is putting a lot of work in on top.
Augustine trying to get away. Meanwhile, McCoy's riding time up to 35 seconds right now.
Augustine's tough to ride for 2 minutes, but boy, McCoy's showing his toughness on top.
This should be an exciting minute and 7 seconds here, guys. And
more blood,
McCoy
it
needs
looks
some
like.
more attention. Yep.
What do you choose here if you're Augustine?
It's tough.
Knowing you've now been rode for
Yeah.
53 seconds,
Yeah.
if you get rode for the entire period, you're going to go into overtime.
You could argue he could go neutral. McCoy wasn't super close to a takedown. I don't think Augustine has any stall calls on him.
I think
Like
you
you
probably
said-
still go down.
Yeah, but like you said, you go down here, maybe 20 seconds to get out, you put it up 4-2.
That's why I think
It's
McCoy
tough.
felt it was comfortable to go ahead and take this injury time, knowing
Yeah.
that, hey, you know, he's going to probably go back down anyway. But if you are Augustine, you do have that option to go neutral here.
Yeah. Watch him throw a curveball and just pick top.
Well, Nino, you were right. We're going to run out of tape here at some point.
We're going on the reserves now.
Yeah. Steve Garland having a word with our officials tonight. Pitt Panthers leading the duel 23-3. The lone Virginia win came from Marlon Yarbrough at 133. He's really wrestled well as of late for the Cavaliers. And 1:07 remaining in this match between Augustine and McCoy. And Augustine really taking his time. He's put a T-shirt back
Yeah.
on, guys. He doesn't know when he's going back out.
I don't
on
even
the
keep
see
mat.
that sweat.
I don't even see McCoy out there.
Yeah.
I think he must have went
Yeah.
back to locker room.
Maybe some concussion protocol, not blood.
I mean, he was slow to walk back.
Yeah.
You thought maybe there's like a knee or an ankle or something along those lines, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, really, there's no other reason other than a concussion protocol, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're off the mat, I assume that's probably the only reason why.
So in the meantime, catch you up on what's going on around the conference. Of course, NC State, number 8 in the country. That's better than any team in the ACC at the moment. And 37 ACC wrestlers in total ranked by Intermat. TJ Stewart, of course, a guy, Greg, you and I were on the call last week when he was here in Pittsburgh and got the upset win over Reese Heller of the Panthers. And we expect to see Reese Heller coming up next at 184. And TJ Stewart, a big victory for him and the Hokies. They are in action tonight against NC State in a duel that will decide the regular season title between the Hokies and Wolfpack as we continue to wait here and find out what the eventual outcome will be at 174. That's Luca Augustine there. I mentioned shirt back on. Justin McCoy, guy, still nowhere in sight really here as Steve Garland looks on, and with 67 seconds remaining in this third period, starting to, of course, wonder if we are going to finish this match.
How much time do you get for a concussion protocol?
I think it's unlimited time.
Okay.
Yeah, so he has as much time as he needs.
Now, how much do you get on injury time? Is it?
Injury time is 5 minutes, I believe.
Okay.
Maybe that's blood time.
So, Nino,
Yeah, that blood time was
Yeah,
5, and maybe
yeah.
injury time was a minute and a half.
A little
2
less.
minutes,
Yeah, you're right.
something along
Yeah.
those
did
lines.
you ever deal with a stoppage this long in your career?
Yeah, funny enough, my redshirt freshman year, we were over all the way in North Dakota, and 30 seconds into the match, kid banged his head, got off the mat, and yeah, so it took a while, but felt like a whole new match by the time he came back, fully reset. So I was like, wrestled 2 matches, felt like that night.
So then, if you're Luca Augustine in this case here, how do you kind of stay sharp? I mean, we're going on at least 5
Well,
minutes.
he's
I'd
staying
say,
warm.
At this point.
He's staying warm with the shirt on. Yeah, I know it's tough. I guess you got to kind of stay relaxed as best you can. It's kind of hard to come from that high of just wrestling a tight match like that, and now just going from just like basically sitting, then back to maybe potentially another high stake match. But as we're speaking, there comes McCoy.
Yeah, he comes running back onto the mat, and
I'll be honest, I didn't expect to see him back out. I thought that might have been it, but
long delay there, but McCoy is back, and he doesn't look too shaken up. And And so trailing by 1, and Augustine still on bottom here. McCoy with 40 seconds of riding time. Can he continue to ride and potentially force a sudden victory here? And he comes out hot and aggressive on Augustine right out of the gate, but Augustine does get the escape to take a 4-2 lead.
So he decided to go back underneath. I think the weight benefited Augustine in that scenario to get fresh. And as you can see, he popped right out.
Had a little extra pop for him on bottom. Like we were saying before, you know, McCoy needs a takedown regardless. Obviously has still a decent amount of time left, but urgency is key here. Augustine already tough to score on as is, but McCoy definitely has some nice offense up his sleeve here.
So you get potentially dangerous. I think hands to the face.
Good shot attempt there from McCoy. Augustine content with hanging out in that front head.
And he's got no stalling calls too. So if you're Augustine, you can back away at this point. Takes the stalling call here. Can give another if you'd like.
Good hard-fought match from both guys.
And that'll do it at 174. One of the toughest weights in the ACC, but Luca Augustine gets the win over Justin McCoy, and he is going to have his name right in the mix at ACC championships coming up in a couple of weeks. Panthers lead the duel 26-3.